So, but right now, there's another pay-per-view that I want to go over, and it's not necessarily the whole pay-per-view I want to go over. I just want to go over mostly the main event, and that's Impact Wrestling had a pay-per-view this past weekend called SLAMMIVERSARY. And SLAMMIVERSARY is like one of Impact Wrestling's biggest pay-per-views. And when I was really into TNA, which was the years of like 2005, when I started in 2006, when I was really getting into TNA, SLAMMIVERSARY was the one, because to me, it felt like that was their SummerSlam. And when their SummerSlam came around, they did good. So their SLAMMIVERSARY, Bound for Glory, and Lockdown were TNA's big events. No matter, every time you see them perform in the Impact Center, which is just like performing at NXT today, when it came to Lockdown, when it came to SLAMMIVERSARY, and when it came to Bound for Glory, they traveled. And they used to go, I remember, because they may have not sold out the Wells Fargo Center, but they definitely sold out the Liacouras Center. And Liacouras Center holds about 3,000 people. So they would have shows there when they came to Philly. So, make it long story short, so SLAMMIVERSARY is one of the big things, and that's one of the things they kept going along with Bound for Glory. Lockdown, not too much. They kind of fell off. They kind of like fell off like WWE Survivor Series did. Well, at SLAMMIVERSARY, we had a first ever, now we've had these matches before, but the first ever main event, intergender matchup. Now, for those who know me, know that I am not the biggest fan of intergender matches. I see them on Lucha Underground all the time, and there is just a disconnect of believability with those matches. And it's not, making a sexist comment. It's not saying I don't respect what the women do. It's just genetics. It's just genetics. Women were, no matter what how you think of it, created or made just differently. And there are certain things that the male body can take that the woman body probably cannot take, or it will damage them more, especially with the addition of breasts and all the other things that they have on their body. So it's very hard to believe, like, if you're going to see a woman the size of Sasha Banks go up in a match with somebody the size of Braun Strowman, there's no way you're going to make that a believable match for me. Even if I remember back in OVW when they had Mickie James go up against Bobby Lashley, or she like slapped something like that, and Bobby Lashley just easily picked her up and gave her a power slam in the ring, and I was just like, there's no way you can believe that Mickie James is going to beat a guy like Bobby Lashley. And so disrespect to Mickie James. It's just like, you're not going to make me believe that you're going to have a cruiserweight go up and just beat a super heavyweight, like such as Cheeseburger from Ring of Honor is not beating Vader. It's not happening. There's no way you can get me to believe that unless he has a gun, And even then, he may have to empty the round on him. So but I have to say, this match exceeded all my expectations for this match. They gave, because Sami Callihan is not the biggest of guys, but he's a pretty solid guy. And Tessa Blanchard, she is on another level of freak athlete. It's coming. Whatever wrestling promotion it is, whenever year it's going to come, Tessa Blanchard will one day go head to head with Charlotte. It's destiny. It's fate. It is. It has to happen somewhere there before people start wrestling, before people get old, before people die, and both their fathers gotta be here to see it. It has to happen. But real quick, to go over the card, Willie Mack defeated Jay Christ, CJP, and Terry Miguel in a fatal 4-way match. Pretty decent match. 3-way tag team match for the Impact World Championships. The North, Ian Page and Josh Alexander defeated LAX, Ortiz and Santana, with Conan and the Rascals. The North is a pretty coming up team. After next month, the Latin America LAX is done with Impact Wrestling, and that they have contracts to go to, they have been offered contracts to go to AEW or WWE, and they've been offering good money, because this new LAX, I'm with it, especially with Conan behind it. Me personally, I'm biased. I kind of want to see them go in AEW. They have history with the tag teams there, but they could go to NXT and do a good thing there too. But it's just that their gimmick, I have a feeling that their gimmick on WWE and Vince McMahon's WWE would be so stereotypical that it will actually hurt LAX, because as you know, LAX is this, they kind of live with the stereotypical gimmick anyway, with the whole Latino gangsters kind of thing. But I just see Vince pushing that way too hard. But NXT, I think Triple H should give him a chance to shine and go up against some fresh teams, but that's either here or there. First blood match, Eddie Edwards defeat Killer Kross. That was actually a pretty decent matchup. It only got about 11 minutes, but it was pretty good when Killer Kross started bleeding from the mouth. Then the return of Rob Van Dam going against Moose. RVD's old. And you can start telling that RVD in the face looks old, but RVD for his age is actually doing pretty well, more than I thought he would. And Moose once again made him look good in this matchup. But Moose picks up the win here, as he should. But it makes you think like RVD. I would love to see some still RVD match with people in WWE like Matt Riddle, but I would love to see that RVD match like 10 years ago. But once again, RVD still got something left in that tank. Fatal 4-Way Monsters Ball match. Taya Valkyrie defeated Jessica Havoc, Rosemary, and Su Yung. This match got brutal, and Taya Valkyrie actually proved to me that she could be hardcore. There's a superplex to Su Yung, I don't believe, from on the ladder from the top rope. God, it sucked. Taya Valkyrie is stapling this picture on the Su Young's face, and it's staying there. Su Yung gets a falls on the thumb. Su Yung took a lot of punishment. Her and Rosemary took a lot of punishment. And shout out to these women for actually going through the brutality of that. But Taya Valkyrie retains her championship. Second, I think this is the match of the night behind. I didn't decide which one, because Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan had the moment to it. But this was just good, pure wrestling. It was Rich Swann taking on Johnny Impact for the X Division Championship, and this was a really good back and forth contest between these two athletic guys. They really, really, really showed off in this one, and I have to say, Rich Swann winning. I miss Rich Swann WWE. He did fuck up, but it was still a great match here. He wins with the Phoenix Splash, the Johnny Impact, and Johnny Impact's contract is up after SLAMMIVERSARY, which he actually extended it so he can do SLAMMIVERSARY. So what it's looking like is he's either going to be Johnny Elite, or he can come back and be Johnny Raw, or Johnny is Live, or if he wants to come back to WWE, because I thought he's going back to NXT. If he was to come back to WWE, or he can re-sign with Impact and still become Johnny Impact. I don't know what the deal is for Lucha Underground. I think after season 4 they may be done, but he's gone after this, so we'll see what he does. Or maybe he just wants to take a break, because it's a lot to do in wrestling. Then we get for a singles match for the Impact World Championship, Brian Cage versus Michael Elgin. These two big bulls go at it, but once again, I miss the art of the big man. I've said this over and over again. Brian Cage is a freak of nature, such as they call him Lucha Lesnar, where they call Bobby Lashley Black Lesnar. He's Lucha Lesnar, because the things that Brian Cage be doing. But once again, and same thing with Michael Elgin, he's big too. I want to see big guys do a big guy brawl sometimes, because I don't need Brian Cage doing 619s. Like, he's so big, I know he can probably do it. Braun Strowman can do a kip up. Don't mean I have to see it. I believe that you're talented at what you do, but see, that's what takes you out of the match. And seeing all these big guys doing these Canadian destroys, they're doing cruiserweight moves. These big guys are doing cruiserweight moves to get over, showing how big they can do it. And there are people out there that like that kind of stuff. But Brian Cage, as strong as he is, I just like to see some of the power aspect and what he can do and be an intimidating beast. Like when he's Lucha Underground, he just tore the belt in half and stuff like that. That's a Brian Cage I want to see, but he was still doing that Lucha shit in Lucha Underground as well. But neither here nor there, Brian Cage retains. Now we get to the main event, the intergender match with Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard. This has been a rivalry going on. I've seen some of the highlights from Impact Wrestling with Sami Callihan's group. I don't know what it's called. Power drive Tessa Blanchard, and then now she's back. They both come with baseball bats, and this was a very believable match when Tessa Blanchard is beating him up, and like I said, she stays with him the whole time, and things that will happen in the match. She goes for a dive through the ropes, and Sami Callihan catches her, and then he just grabs her by the legs as like in a powerbomb form, and just swings her on the gate back and forth. Then they have the level ramp from the Titantron to the ring, and Tessa hits a nice cutter on there, and she sells the back and everything. I love that middle rope cold breaker that she does. That thing is good. So it was the whole story about that, and Sami Callihan won. The right guy went over, and he hits her with a pile driver and wins the matchup. It was good storytelling, a very good match, and Tessa has shown me a lot. I remember when they did the intergender match with Trish Stratus and Lita versus Chris Jericho and Christian back at Armageddon 2003, I believe it was. And they actually, for 6 minutes, made that match kind of believable. They kind of did good. This one surpassed that, in my personal opinion. And this was a very good storytelling matchup. Like I said, I may not be into it. There may be some people that's into the intergender stuff like that. I mean, I do miss the days of sometimes certain violence towards the women is required. Like if Stephanie gets a rock bottom, I'm not mad at that. Like I don't want to see when Stone Cold like laid Lita out with them chair shots. That I'm like, okay, that's kind of uncomfortable. I don't need to see that. And I know that gets you get heel heat, but I don't need to see that stuff. But if Baron Corbin wants, hopefully, at Extreme Rules, give Becky a deep 6, please. By all means, that'll bring heat to the match. Or end of days, I seriously doubt WWE is going to do that. But still, but Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan showed that that they can do this. I'm glad Impact for allowing them to do this. It was really good. I really enjoyed the match. I'll make sure you guys go back and check out Slammiversary. I know Slammiversary was really good. Slammiversary is one of them cards where they actually do pretty good. Like I actually every year want to see Slammiversary. I actually want to see Slammiversary more than I want to see Bound for Glory.